Problem around the country, and especially here in New England.
And Maine, more and more babies are being born addicted to drugs, and hospitals are trying to stay ahead of the problem.
Maine Medical Center is in the spotlight, taking part in a national study on how to best treat addicted babies.
Now, CBS 13's Kim Block has this special report.
At the neonatal intensive care unit at Maine Medical Center, they treat babies born with many serious conditions, from premature birth complications to heart problems. But more and more often, they are treating babies suffering the consequences of their mother's addiction.
Yeah, I think in all of New England and really throughout the entire country, we're seeing a large increase. And it's roughly tripled in the last 10 years of babies being born addicted to narcotics.
How big a problem? Dr. Peter Morrow has been taking care of the babies in NICU since 1993.
It would be rare that we saw 1 or 2 babies a year who had to withdraw from narcotics. And it's steadily grown that, we may be evaluating in the hospital here, not that every baby needs to be treated, maybe 1 or 2 babies a day or definitely 4 or 5 a week.
This baby is one of them. His mom, who asked not to be identified, is a heroin addict in recovery. Her treatment includes methadone.
I have been on opiate replacement for almost 9 years.
Contrary to what people may think, Dr. Morrow says pregnant women in this situation should not stop taking their opiate replacement medication for the safety of the baby.
So the best thing to do during your pregnancy is to be maintained on these medications under the supervision of a physician and your providers.
The alternative would have been so much worse.
But the methadone was passed on to her developing baby. When he was born, he began going through withdrawal.
So it's really one of the most difficult things we deal with as medical providers, because the babies are screaming and irritable. They don't feed well. They can have seizures. They have all kinds of gastrointestinal disturbances, etc.
My biggest concern was, of course, him going through the withdrawals of the medication.
Hospitals like Maine Med have developed protocol for treating those babies.
So what we do is we basically put them back on narcotics, and we call it capturing them, bring them down, and then very, very slowly over the course of sometimes over a month, take them off the narcotics.
What isn't known is whether this is the best way to treat these babies. The drugs have been used for years, but never really studied by the FDA. Maine Med and Tufts are involved in a nationwide study on how best to treat addicted babies.
This is a $3.5 million trial through the National Institute of Health, specifically the National Institute of Drug Abuse. And they've said that the medications we use to treat these babies for many years, we don't know enough about them.
And we use this contraption called a mama.
As Dr. Morrow demonstrates with this training doll, there are non-pharmacological treatments too, including soothing motion devices like this one, and the comfort of contact with the mother or staff members. In most cases, the withdrawal lasts about a week, sometimes up to a month. The hospital says it's committed to providing safe, reliable care for the babies and support for their families, many of whom are working hard to stay straight.
Being an addict, I have the right to have a family as well. And, he'll be no different than any other child. He has to stay here a little while, but as far as, having to do it, he'll be no different. Once we're out of here, he'll be home and just as happy and healthy as any other little baby would be.
As for long-term effects of the withdrawal medication, the study will look at that too. In Portland, Kim Block, CBS 13 News.